Alright, so just to go with my snow cab, I have the Craftsman 42-inch snowblower, which I'm actually starting to modify with some automation. As you can see in the chute here, I have I would have chosen a 4-inch actuator. Unfortunately, I purchased a 6-inch, and I mean it works, but it's not perfect. So what I did inside here is I took a piece of 1-inch flat bar, and I just kind of supported, because it's all plastic, supported the inside here, and I screwed one there, and then the actuator. On the actuator itself, I purchased a kit online for just the screws and so forth, and basically was through Merit, was on eBay, and basically, you know, for 15 bucks or whatever it was, to me, well worth it. But it does come with those items right there, and I don't believe that's a Merit actuator, but it was purchased on eBay as well. So basically what I'm just going to show is just a little bit of an example of how it works. I just had it hooked up to a battery jumper cable thing for the battery itself. This will be the going down. Right now it's fully extended. This is just going down. Obviously it's a 6-inch, so you don't want to go too far. Like I said, I would purchase a 4-inch in the future. Unfortunately, I did not do that. So now I'll just change the polarity. Make sure you're going to need a double pole switch for the ups and the downs. And this is the up. And with the 6-inch, it extends all the way, but going down, definitely do not want to go any further, because with the plastic it's stuck. That's it for the up and down, and my next will be a power window motor going for the left and right. Alrighty, just a little update with my automations. Basically here is the chute, the turning device, and then I took the bar off, placed a 3/4 inch square bar, and kind of manipulated the angle of what I need. As you can see, I have a motor, window motor. Got it off of eBay. I think it goes to a Ford of some sort, and I just kind of temporarily put it on a 3-inch flat bar, and just kind of held it up at the angle that I'm thinking I'm needing, and eventually I'm going to weld that there. This will go here, and what I'm trying to calculate and figure out is this here. I saw this on somebody else with eBay. It's a 6 in metal. It's not plastic. You got to watch out for the plastic ones. What I did is I got a it's a socket. It fits over that. What is this anyways? It's a 3/4 inch impact wrench socket. That'll go over that, and it'll somehow connect to that. Had a hole which I drilled, tapped to put a screw in there, and then this will go onto this, like so. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to weld that or figure out, this is where I'm calculating on where I need to, how to attach that. So for now, I'll get back to work and we'll give you some further updates. Alright, so what you see here is I've kind of cut down the turning device and I've put some 7/16 threads I dyed on, and I have some screws here. So I have one inside of this which fits perfect inside that ratchet. You can see in there. And that kind of tightens it onto this, which makes it perfect. And then I have a set screw, which I'll kind of reinforce that tightness. And then the motor, it will fit in there. And right now I got the bar off, which I'm going to weld. Alright, so this is my automation for my up and down for the device. I've used an 8-inch actuator. Using the actuator connection that came with it, bolting it onto the frame. 8 inches, I set the actuator at about 4.5 inches, where I connected then this pretty heavy duty wire. I stuck some tape in between there only because it prevents the rubbing. And I used, I want to say it's a 3/4 bolt with washers, nuts, and so forth, and basically sandwiches that in, securing the wire with those devices there, and on the bottom same thing, and securing that in the bottom. So I have it set to my battery now, and I'm just going down with it. The actuator is 225-pound actuator, so it's not all that strong. And at full lift, it's about 6 inches off the ground. As you can see that, and then we'll go back up again, and this is where you don't hit the strength. So with that 4.5-inch set, when it reaches the top, it will stop. It is not fast. So what we have here is my finished product for what we're going to call for this year. So basically my homemade snow cab and my door. Actually I purchased a shed handle, and on the inside there turns down, locks it in. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, it's doable. Basically all my windows, other than my back one. My back I have laminated glass. Front I broke my laminated glass, so I now have 1/4-inch Lexan. And the front here, where I had it open, my neighbor had some old winterized stuff for his boat, which I ended up just cutting and then putting in some snaps, snapping it in, so I can open the hood. As far as the snow blower, I'll put on some new shoes here. I have a couple of 35-watt light bulbs in the front here. And as far as my automation, the shoot up and down, and then my power window motor. I bought a 3/4-inch or something ratchet from Harbor Freights, and cut down my device and tapped or dyed, or whatever they call it, to put a 7/16 screw, and that goes inside there. So let's go inside here. I don't know if that's even gonna be worth it, but it's just a Harbor Freight's heater fan. It costs $6, so we'll try that, see what happens. In the corner here I have my trolling motor, which is we use in the summertime, and I just kind of hooked up my powers for my lights and my automation. And I just get inside here, and kind of a hodgepodge, but nothing. I'll clean it up next year. At this point it's February and I just want to get this thing done. As far as left and right and up and down, and then on my I have another actuator on the bottom there. That just lifts it up and down. Pretty good. Lights for that. And we did a little bump out for each foot. Access to my gas. In the back here, I bought this. It's a plug-in light. It's not too bad. It was like $7 or $8 on Amazon. It is a plug. I'm gonna just cutting it. It's on a magnet. I don't know if it'll stay or not, but I'll end up cutting that and splicing it onto a switch just to turn off and on. And if it falls off, then I'll just secure it. A couple of magnetic strips, which I did get at Harbor Freight's. I'm not a professional with anything, so to me Harbor Freight's is more than adequate. So that's it for now. I don't know if I mentioned before, for my snow I changed my tires, so rather than the 15s that came with it, I purchased some 16-inch tires just to kind of give me an extra lift with the unit itself. So I get 4.5 inches off the ground with the actuator, and then that just gives me an extra inch. So when I'm all said and done, I'm off full up, I'm off the ground about 6.5 inches, which is pretty good. Other than that should be it. Suggestions and improvements, anything that I missed or did not do right, please set forward, and we'll go from there. Take care.